everybody. I can't win with this scheduling business. I scheduled and I didn't think I was going to collide with anyone. And now I find out Libby's going live and Nita's going live. And I'm going to collide with both of them. So I'll make it a not a super long one, so we can still go and support the girls. Who have we got? We've got Miss Justice. Yeah, I am on earlier. I was just trying to work out a time that I get really frustrated because afternoon my time is when the other big guys are on and it doesn't work too well. And yeah, it's just a pain in the butt trying to find the right time that's I don't ever like going live when Libby's live because we normally have the same subs and stuff, so it's just a respect thing. I get, like, I don't like to do that. But how is everybody? We've got another case, guys. It's just horrible. Hi, May Hazel. Hi, Sunny D. I just seen you over in John's. It's so different, isn't it, to his other channel, seeing him more serious. Jackie Jude's here. Yeah, it's different seeing him not all hyped up and losing his mind with, I know, I started following it yesterday, my time, when the very first missing poster come out, and it's not good. It's not going to end well. Like in the first 24 hours, you just know, don't you? And the police now have confirmed that they don't believe the father, basically, and they're very wary of the mother as well, because he said they're both people of interest, and the mother doesn't live with the father. It's just a lot. I know, he's just the sweetest looking little guy too, isn't he? Like, you just want to get him and give him a big squeeze and a cuddle. He is, he's gorgeous. If I could adopt these, like, hubby was just home for morning tea and he heard me listening to the latest news update, and like, he gets how emotional it is, and he said, I don't know why you do this to yourself. And I said, how can you not do this to yourself? Like, I don't understand how people can just, oh yeah, and move on. I've never been able to do that. Like, my whole life, it's always got to me, and I don't think you would be human if you could. And then I get so many friends saying, oh yeah, but it's not even in Australia, you know, like, and I just want to punch them in the throat, because does it matter? Like, I've even had creators say to me, why do you even care? You don't even live here. And I'm just like, oh my God, you people. A building have Ring cameras. Oh really, Jackie Jude? I've joined a couple of Facebook groups this morning, and there was one guy losing his shit because, believe it or not, but he lives a couple of doors down, and he said it's nothing unusual to hear the babies, the kids crying, like late at night, and you can be walking past and hear them screaming and him, like, hear the dad losing his shit and stuff like that. So that was really sad. And it's amazing to, you know, the Facebook groups, when you have people that live a couple of doors away, can it get any more real than that? No. So, guys, I don't understand, and I haven't had time to Google it because I was trying to get some washing in and out and drop Layla at school and everything. So, little Noah Tomlin, he went missing there 2 years ago in the same suburb, and they found his body at what they're calling a steam plant. So is that like landfill type waste area that instead of burning off, that they turn into steam or something? Because I didn't understand what a steam plant is. Is that what it is, or is it something altogether different that just produces steam in its operations? It sounds like May Hazel says, it sounds like they are doing everything they can. They have thrown all the resources, and even the local people have been trying to do anything they can. Yeah, I've got a couple of news clips we're going to play, and they're very, very telling, especially from the morning one, your time, to tonight's one. The difference in what they're saying says a lot. The neighbour started saying at his girlfriend's house because of the noise. Yes, we must be in the same one, the same group. And he wrote everything in big capitals too, like he was losing his mind, that guy in that group. Yeah, so the law enforcement asked the very first 50 volunteers would be, he gives them a contact number and stuff, and they used 50 official community volunteers to help look, but they've called that off once they went to the steam plant later this afternoon. It's not a phrase I have heard. Oh, okay. So maybe it is some sort of manufacturing. I just thought it was like a landfill type thing that they don't burn off, that they turn the rubbish into steam or something. I just didn't understand it. Yeah, what a crock of shit. If there's other kids in the house, Jackie Jude, wouldn't you think one of them kids would have been up before 9 a.m.? You just feel it, don't you? Straight away when it's not. But now they have widened. They don't believe that the last time, police have confirmed this, they do not believe that the last time he was seen was 2 a.m. They've brought it back to 12 noon Sunday was the last time he was officially seen. And they've sort of discounted anything the father has said. So that says even more. The ages of the children, Jackie, but that's a good question. Yeah, I don't know. But I don't know their exact ages either. But that officer said last night, my time, that there are several other young children in the house. That's all he said. Hi, Brandy Bradford. Oh, that's good. I'm glad you're feeling better. Oh, it's an electrical thing. Thanks, Sunny D. And like when I was thinking about it, I thought, what, like if you're cunning, you would think if a little boy was found there 2 years ago, you would think if you were warped in the head, what are the chances they'd go and check there again 2 years later, and maybe thought he was being, like, if the little guy is there, he might have thought that would be the last place they would search because it's already happened there before. Maybe, I don't know. But yeah, it's horrible. But I'm going to play a couple of these. I'll play the morning one first. What's going on here? Because then you can see the difference. I'll just let the ad go through. Skip ad. Hang on. I've got so many tabs up here, it's ridiculous. I'm just getting rid of a few of them. Oh dear. Share the screen. But he's such a little cutie.
Cody's safety. They are still talking to us. They're still answering our questions. We still believe that they are the key to us finding out where he might be and what may have happened to him.
Is that why there's no Amber Alert?
There's no Amber Alert because we've worked with Virginia State Police to discuss the criteria, which we are deeply familiar with. This case is not an Amber Alert case. Sergeant Williams will talk more about that as well.
And again, you have more people helping you in the search today, more agencies. Could you just speak to who's helping along with FBI?
So Sergeant Williams will be able to talk about that as well. All right, I'm going to let him speak, and then we can hit questions.
Good morning. Thank you all. So some additional points that we want to cover this morning is we're establishing a role for the general public to help us assist in this search. So at the conclusion of this press conference, we're going to have a link available on our social media sites that enables the public to sign up to assist us. At this time, we're only seeking the first 50 volunteers. We need to be able to coordinate the volunteers and be able to determine where they're searching and have an accurate way to track where those volunteers are going to be working with our staff. Some important things to know about that is the volunteers need to be capable of walking long distances outside in the cold weather, and we're asking them to have a valid photo ID available. As I said, the first 50 are only going to be used, and after you sign up, please wait to be contacted. We'll contact you if we need you. Additionally, I want to reiterate the point that Chief Talbot said about we're seeking information on when the public saw Cody last, when that was, where he was, who he was with, and what they were doing. That information is extremely important to us, and it's extremely important to the investigation. You can get that information to us by visiting p3tips.com. You can follow the prompts on there to submit a tip to Hampton Police, and we'll be able to receive and review those tips. We might not be able to respond to every tip that we receive, but it's important to know that we have received it and we're going to pass it on to the appropriate personnel. You can also contact us at the crime line at 1-888-LOCK-YOU-UP. With regard to the Amber Alert, We've received numerous questions in terms of why an Amber Alert has not been issued. We have basically determined that the criteria for the Amber Alert has not been met. We have conferred with state police on numerous occasions to confirm that that criteria is not met. And the specific elements of the criteria that has not been met refers to, at this point, we don't believe that an abduction has taken place. There's no information to lead investigators to believe that Cody has been abducted, and we don't have information to pass on or to fit the criteria with regard to that element. Another element would be who the abductor would be, where that abductor is traveling, what they're wearing, what vehicle they're in. That element of the criteria simply does not exist. So aside from that, we're using all of our available resources to put this information and get it out to the public. Of course, with the media's assistance, all of our social media, this story has been shared hundreds of thousands of times, and we ask you to continue to share that to get this information out. That's all I have for you this morning, and we'll take questions as we can answer them to the best of our ability.
Is Cody's mom around? Is she here in town?
Cody's mom is in town, and we are speaking to her.
And I noticed you used the language of people responsible for his safety. Is that switched from parents? Is that a different role? Or?
There are a number of people beyond his parents that we are speaking to.
Why don't you believe he was abducted?
The investigation does not indicate that he was abducted. There's just no reason to believe it. We certainly are open to that as a possibility. It is not likely.
The circumstances surrounding when he was last seen, is that reliable information from his dad? Or?
No, it is not reliable.
Is the history of neglect in the family?
I do not want to comment on that.
Is that the reason for the new timeline with the not reliable information from family?
The evidence that we have does not completely match the stories that we have received at this point. So we are opening up our focus in terms of the time that we are interested in. We will work as if he's out there waiting for us to find him.
Should we read into any similarities here with the Miller Condon case? Or?
I don't have a comment.
What agencies are involved in the search at this point?
Sergeant Williams.
So the biggest agency that has joined the search this morning is the Virginia Department of Emergency Management. They will be bringing in additional resources and personnel to assist in the search. Staff, equipment, mainly staff and equipment at this point, personnel, expertise, things of that nature.
Would you talk a little bit about the decision to let the community help with the search and why that would be?
Sure. We have a role to play for our residents. Not only will the residents be instrumental in getting us the information that we need to figure out what happened, and make no mistake about it, the information is here. We believe the information is here. We want to bring the residents into this in a way that makes sense given our resources and given what we know. And what we learned throughout the investigative process has led us to want to bring the public in to expand the possibility of searching not only what we've already done. We're going to have them go back and look again to make sure, sometime in the middle of the night we didn't miss a small detail that might be instrumental. But as I said, there's a role to play here. I do not have her name.
Can you kind of narrow in on where this information is? Are we talking about, he could be here in this neighborhood in Hampton on the peninsula? Like, what's the circumference of this search zone?
It is likely that he is here in the city of Hampton. It is more likely that he is here close to his home, which is adjacent to me here to my left and to your right. So the further that we get away from his home, the less likely it is that he's going to be found, and the less likely that we're going to find information. We haven't ruled anything out. We are searching the hardest in the areas where he is most likely to be found, obviously, but also further out. Correct.
Chief, can you expand a little bit on, you just said that the evidence does not match the stories we have heard. Can you expand on that? What do you mean by that?
I think that's self-explanatory. The evidence doesn't match what we've been told, so we need to investigate further, and we need the help of the public so that we can find anybody who may have seen this child or even anything that might be related to this investigation. We feel strongly that somebody listening can be helpful. We feel very strongly about that.
Have the parents not told you enough to connect the dots on the stories that are not adding up with the evidence that there is?
We probably won't know for certain how much is being left out until we find this child.
But isn't that really the concerning thing with the parents, the people that were responsible for his safety, are telling you stories that are not adding up to the evidence that you have?
That is the crux of the investigation. We have to figure that out.
And last night we had cell crews searching through dumpsters in the neighborhood. Is that just part of searching the whole area? Or?
Right. We will search every place he could possibly be. Every place he could possibly be, we will look. We're not searching dumpsters because we believe he's there. We are searching dumpsters because he could be there.
There was a dumpster search last night. Nothing came of that. Or did something come from that?
I can answer that, Chief. So, as with any investigation, with regard to specific evidence that we find or did not find, we're unable to go into that at this time. So, any questions that regard evidence that we're locating or have located, we're not able to expand on that at this time.
That is a possibility.
And Chief, is there a person of interest?
There is a person of interest. We are most interested in Cody's parents.
Are there any water searches going on in the area at this time?
Yes.
And are you doing a door-to-door search around here as well, I'm assuming?
Yes.
Are you all working with any other search parties that aren't related? I know there's some neighbors that are thinking of getting together.
Yes.
What was the situation with Cody's parents? They were separated or not together?
Cody's parents do not live together. Thank you. Respond.
I agree with you, Penny. His facial expressions, they know it's the dad. As Prayer Garden would say, absolutely. So that's the press coverage from this morning, US time. I found another one that was later this afternoon, your time. This is where they've suspended the civilian search, and an update from tonight. 6 Up. Hi, 6 Up Media, Lena's View, and Suzanne. But even from the very first news, coverage, you could just tell with this fella here, especially, that there's foul play, and he didn't even hold back in that interview. That one, he was so much more open and virtually said, it's definitely the parents. Well, not definitely, but the parents are definitely persons of interest. Didn't he? I know, that's what I was saying to hubby at morning tea, Suzanne. I was like, why can't they just go and drop them at a hospital or a police station and drive away? Why do they have to keep hurting them and hiding them? And it just does. I will never, ever understand it. And his statement of evidence doesn't match what the parents are saying. That says it all right there. I sent you a Facebook message, nothing important. Oh, okay, Jackie Jude, I will check it. Thank you so much. No, I'll never understand it. Hi, Dreamcatcher. Like, if you're that frustrated parenting or not coping, you cannot tell me there's no resources for assistance. If you don't have family support and you know you're in a bad way, there's a million different phone numbers you can ring. Drop him at a school, drive away. You do not have to keep hurting these babies. I will never understand that, ever. So I'm going to share this. This is the latest one that I've come across tonight, your time. Sorry for that noise. It's my ice maker. I should have turned it off before I come live. But I'm in the house, so. So this is the latest one tonight.
That is a big concern as we're now in day 2 of the search for little Cody. And the people who were coordinating that search, they're right behind me. So I'm going to step out of the shot so we can zoom in and you can get a better idea of who we're talking about. This is the command center for the Hampton Police Department. And so you've got Hampton PD out here, you've got the FBI, and you've got the Virginia Department of Emergency Management. And that's because they have extra resources that can help in a search of this size. I just walked over there a second ago to see what kind of new updates I can get. And they told me a couple of things. One, that the civilian search, because they have civilians that are walking around here with the police department, the civilian search has ended, but for the official authorities, they are continuing their search. They have also, we just learned, expanded that search to Hampton's trash to steam plant. And as you recall, that's where they found the remains of Noah Tomlin. And so they have extended their search over there. That's the only information that they would release. And that the immediate area of the search is like about a 1-mile grid. Now, there was a news conference earlier today where there were some very important news nuggets that were dropped. News 3's Ellen Ice was there. And Ellen, we learned some new things about the parents of Cody.
Yeah, Kurt, the biggest thing we learned is that the parents are considered persons of interest. They say evidence is not matching initial stories told to investigators. And Cody was first reported missing yesterday here at Buckrow Point Apartments. Police say they don't think the 4-year-old wandered off or was abducted. Initial reports were that the father last saw him at 2 a.m., but by 9 a.m. he was gone. Police say that information may not be accurate. They say evidence is not matching initial stories told to police. They have now widened the search beginning at noon on Sunday through 9 a.m. on Monday, pushing back their initial timeline significantly. Police say they do believe Cody is in Hampton and most likely close to home. Police say Cody's parents do not live together, but Cody's mom is in town and they have been speaking to her. Police say they're talking to the people responsible for Cody's safety. Hampton Police Chief Mark Talbot says they need the public's help.
We would like anyone in this area or who has been close to this area recently to look at any surveillance video that they may have, look and see if there are any photos that they may have captured in this area that may have something that we would be interested in.
And if you have any information, you are asked to call the crime line at 188-LOCK-YOU-UP. Kurt, back to you.
All right, Ellen, thank you so much. Our team coverage continues now with News 3's Margaret Kavanaugh. Margaret, we've been seeing some of the teams that have been fanning out from across this area. You went with some of those teams, and what have you been seeing out there?
Yes, I'm about 6 miles from where you are, Kurt. Right now, we're right outside of that steam plant. You can see there are crews. We've been watching people come in and out, Hampton Police, Hampton Fire, and others that are involved in this search for this 4-year-old boy. Now, what we are told from police is that they are searching this area. They're trying to cover their bases. They say they did not get a lead about Cody, that he was here, but they just want to make sure, and they have expanded the search and have been out here for some time. Now, we also know that back in 2019, this was the place where Hampton Police found the body of Noah Tomlin. Now, take a look. This is the memorial that is set up for that 2-year-old boy. He was found in 2019. His mother was charged, and this entire community was shocked and saddened, disheartened by that case. Many people very emotional hearing that there is another little boy that is missing at this point. Take a look at some of the video that we got earlier as we were out with search crews, people in the community that were gathering to look and try to help in these efforts. Now, there were dozens of people, and this was organized by the Hampton Police earlier, but many people were helping in the efforts. They were opening trash cans, they were looking under cars and searching for any clues that could help authorities in the disappearance of this child. We spoke to those who were part of this search.
He's just a 4-year-old boy that's missing, and we need to find him. So that's what brought me out here. I've been out here since 7 a.m., seeing what's going on, seeing how I can help.
There's no place we shouldn't look. We have to also understand that the timeline was changed with the father, so that may change, how far he went.
Yes, and police want the help from the public. As Ellen was saying earlier, they say they've been asking anyone with information or have they seen this child to come forward and report it to authorities. We know that the child's father has been under police scrutiny, asking about what happened with this little boy. The police chief told me that they're most interested in the dad being forthcoming about what he knows, and they believe that he is key to finding Cody. That is what the police chief told me directly earlier today. As we know, this search continues with many people in the community, many people watching this, just hoping that they find this little boy. Live in Hampton, Margaret Kavanaugh, News 3.
Thank you, Margaret. That is the prayers and the hopes of many that Cody will be found. Now, even though the volunteer search aspect has been called off, Hampton PD, FBI, Virginia Department of Emergency Management, that search will continue throughout the night. This 24/7 command center is staying active right here. I just ran into my colleague a moment ago, Antoinette Delbell. She is out here making sure that we can continue our coverage throughout the evening. So we're going to stay on top of the story. But if you know or saw anything, no detail is too small, call 1-888-LOCK-YOU-UP. Hampton Police say that this is a collective effort that can hopefully help them get to some answers. So call that number. If any of the folks around here have any Ring doorbell video, anything that can help in this case, they want to hear from you.
There we go. I just want to see if they've got an update. It's just not looking good. There's nothing about it that makes you feel hopeful, does it? It's I'm surprised that law enforcement have said this much. about the father. Because look how much we still have not heard from the Wellses. Like, don't you think it's very, very different with the amount of information that they're giving out with this little guy compared to what information we've had come forward with Summer's case? Like, they won't say yes or no to anything. He is the most cutest little fella. Honestly, I will never understand. There was another update and it was nighttime. I'll just go here for a second. I don't know where it was now. But anyway, I don't have a good feeling. I don't think law enforcement have a good feeling. I think it's just a matter of getting Dad to crack or they find him. I don't think anyone's hopeful. He does have a lovable, sweet little face, gymnastics. They'll be able to track everywhere that U-Haul went, though. Yeah. Let's raise money to buy a big, huge house to take all these babies in. Oh, I would love that, Jackie Jude. But I just don't understand why they've got to... Look, don't get me wrong. As a mother and a grandmother, there have been times with my kids where you just feel like, oh, my God. And as a parent, if you've never been at that point where you could understand somebody who is not okay to lose it and hurt a child, I think you're full of shit. But most of us have that switch that stops that from going any further. I understand there can be accidents, but own it. If something's happened and it was an accident, just say so. But if you feel like you're not coping, people need to start saying they're not coping and reach out for help or just drop their kid to somebody. Schools, fire stations, police stations, hospitals, doctors' surgeries. Oh, hello there. I don't know how to say your name. Database 2.0. Welcome. Sharon, I think a big farm with lots of cottages and carers would be good. Animals and nature. Wouldn't it be amazing? Oh, wouldn't it just be amazing to be able to fund and operate something like that and just have all these little ones? Because I don't think you'd have any trouble getting volunteers to come and help, and it's just so sad and senseless. I want to know how many other kids were in the house. Are they old enough to say anything about what has happened? Suzanne would be in it in a heartbeat. Hi, Kintsugi, how are you? Tracy is how you say my name, honey. Oh, okay. Thanks, Tracy, because it looks like database 2.0. It's usually a girlfriend, boyfriend. Seems this is a case. Yeah. That's what that video the other day I did with little Tegan Skeever. There's so many boyfriends or girlfriends that come into the picture, but it happens with bios as well. It can happen with anybody. But as soon as I watched the very first little bit of information on the news, I thought, no, this is another bad one. Sunny D says, did anyone hear about the 3 teens that are being charged with murder for killing stepdad after finding out he had been essaying their 9-year-old sister and others? No, I haven't heard that one, Sunny D. I'll have to Google it and look into it. Hi, Hurricane, how are you? Hi, Sassy Nose. I'll have to look at that one. I don't blame him, though. Look, as a little kid, I dreamt about doing it. To my stepfather, like, I'm not even joking that I dreamt it. I would daydream about doing it. It appears to be Cody and 3 older siblings from what I've found on a Codi Bigsby Facebook page. Yeah, so Cody Bigsby is the dad. I went to that Facebook page, Jackie Jude, but I couldn't find a lot on the one from the link that they had in the chat. And a lot of it was from like years and years ago. It was like anything that was recent had been taken off. I was in Texas, Sunny D. I'm just writing it down so I don't forget to have a look. So 3 teenagers. So were they all like brothers? And then they found out about their sister being abused. I just hope they don't get life in prison, because that's honestly, like, I wasn't old enough to hurt anybody. You know, I was under, say, 12 years of age, and I know myself I could never hurt him, but I always dreamt about how I could do it, and the only thing that stopped me is I knew I'd be in jail for the rest of my life. Isn't that sad, you know? And the third one was just a friend. Holy crap. The little boy in this story, Cody Bigsby, is 4 years old, dream catcher. And he's the cutest little guy. I love the photo of him where his hair's a little bit long at the back. Makes him more adorable, and you just want to give him a big squeeze. Like, I would just give him the biggest squeeze anyway, but you do. You just want to grab him and run away. And hi, Outlaw Trucker. How are you? Sharon, have you watched Suzanne says, Sharon, have you watched Honor Killings where the father killed his two beautiful teen daughters? Yes, I have. Oh, that actually come up in my feed again last night, Suzanne. That documentary, wasn't he a piece of work? He was an absolute animal. Watch Josh's live on the story of the boys that killed their stepdad. Okay, so Josh has done it. I can so identify with that. I really can. Of the three that killed the father, re-abuse. So this isn't something that's just happened recently. It's like an older story. You guys, would be very interesting to me. Yeah, I've been watching all of Outlaw stuff too. And Duchess Discussions. I think she did a little video earlier as well on Cody. Wow, Dreamcatcher, really? I bet you have seen some horrific cases. Oh, it's a new story. I'm really curious now. And even more so when I found out that it was happening to his full-blood daughter, like my stepsister. That's how angry, resentful, that's the way I used to feel towards him and the mother. I know but women are not allowed to have an opinion on anything in their world, are they? They're just submissive to whatever dad says goes virtually. I couldn't live like that. I can tell you that right now. You're right, Sassy Noz, but you're listening. 6-year-old needs a breathing treatment. Oh no, that's not good. He's got COVID and it's in his lungs. I was positive to at least my teen is that she has the antibodies. Oh, you go and tend to him. We're not going anywhere for a little bit. Oh, I hope he's okay. And you? Yeah, Layla's on her second day at high school. She was a little bit more nervous this morning because I didn't even realise. That's how on the ball I am. I couldn't believe how relaxed she was yesterday and confident, and she's they'd had a little plan for a few of them to meet up at the gate, and Lay was there a tiny bit early, so she's gone into school. And then one of the other little girls' mums has messaged me, oh, we're at the gate waiting for Layla. And I said, I dropped her there 10 minutes ago. Or Shelby did. So anyway, Lay's like, no, I've already gone in. It's all good. And here I am panicking. But what I didn't realise was only year 7 and 11 went back yesterday. So that's why she wasn't bothered at all. But this morning when I dropped her off, she was she jumped out of the car, then walked back over and opened the door and said something to me, then shut the door, walked away, and then she sort of come back again and asked me another funny little, like they were just little nervous questions, and she's looking around, and I said, it'll be okay. I said, how come you weren't this nervous yesterday? And she said, because it was only us in year 11 here yesterday. I said, oh my God. She said, everyone's here today, Nan. And I was like, okay. So then she spotted one of her friends and she's like, okay, see you, bye. And I said, oh my God, poor little thing. I hated that part of the thing was when I was a kid, because when I did live with my mother, they were like gypsies. And I'm not kidding. People think I just say this to be funny, but I am not kidding. This lot of people used to move towns every time they got an electricity bill. So every quarter we were off. So you can imagine how many schools I went to in the years I did live with my mother. But Nan, she was in the same house all her life. And I've managed to find one online. You couldn't pay me to go back to high school. Me either, Jackie Jude. Me either. People always say, you know, oh, I wish I was a teenager again. That would be, hell no. There is no way known I want to go back in time. It was horrible. Plus I had the big thick glasses as well that made your eyes really, really big because I had the cataracts. It was not a fun time for me. And I know a lot of kids just don't cope with high school. Sorry, Suzanne, the chat's jumping around. My poor friend, oh yes, your friend's house that got flooded out had just had the carpet torn up. Oh no. And now a message from her says her mum is really sick, been unable to get the rat anywhere. Oh my gosh. Does her mum live with her, Suzanne? We got a pack of 5 the other day at the chemist. If you just keep ringing chemist after chemist after chemist, you will, and just tell them you need to go on an emergency list for a rat test. I've heard that's worked a couple of times. Miss Justice, Sharon Nader wondered if you would be interested. Here goes the ice again. Interested in covering MMIW women in Australia. What's MMIW? I'm writing it down. MM. I don't even know what it is, Miss Justice, but if I can do anything to help, absolutely. I hate saying absolutely now. Did you guys watch that yesterday? Who watched Shares Live and the big dramatics at the end? Murdered missing women. Yes, I would be totally up for that. Miss Justice? Tell her I'll be over in a little bit. I didn't know she was going live literally till you said 1.5 minutes before I was due to start. Otherwise, I would have changed it because Libby's live at the same time. It's just a pain in the neck trying to get a good slot. Hi, the real Gigi. How are you, my little paddle? Nope, Shares Live may be better. Watch it. Huh? So, Suzanne, Is she not allowed to stay at the house with the water? I'm all over the place here. Because they've had to rip the floor up. And is her mum living with her? Oh, Layla and I both tested negative sassy nos yesterday. So actually I tested Layla Monday night and she was negative now. And I'm out of ISO today, so I can actually leave the house. So I'm excited. Not that I go anywhere, but it'll be nice just to go in and have a look in the supermarket, I think. Donnie's losing it maybe because his court date is coming up. I'm sick to death of Cher's dramatics for views. And she's done it again. Like, I don't give a shit what she reckons is in that voice memo that she's now trying to say that TBI has told her not to play. She's full of shit. I'm sorry, but I don't believe her. If you watched her the other day when Don was on her live on one phone talking to her father, and you watch how excited, like she's absolutely jumping out of her skin with excitement, with, you know, because it's all dramatic and she's loving it and you can tell. And then to do what she did yesterday, because it was just so horrific, whatever Donald said, I do not believe the woman. Oh, it's not what he said. He didn't confess, but it's just like Casey Anthony's tattoo. Like what? Are you kidding me? I'm sick to death of it. Of making shit up and trying to make out like they've got the only little bit of evidence that TBI need to seal the case and all this sort of stuff. And then to come on the next day, oh no, well I can't play it now because TBI told me not to. I want proof that TBI said that. Why didn't you record them saying that? Share, Sunny D, Voices Behind the Walls lady. And poor Mark, like, that guy's going to have a freaking stroke. When she gets into this big dramatic, like, he is having anxiety from her. You have a look at him on yesterday's live at the end, and that guy is fucking white. I'm not joking. You can see the blood draining from his face, and he does not look well. She is going to give him a heart attack or something. He is a nervous bloody wreck. He needs to get the hell away from her. And Shay, I don't give a shit whether you come for me. I just don't think you're okay in the head. To make up, oh, you should hear the voice memo. Oh, no, I can't play it to you now because TBI said it is too important. I want to hear them say that, Cher. Or I want a screenshot where they've told you not to play it. Because I do not believe you. I really, really don't. He's too good for her. The real Gigi. I just think he doesn't know how to control her anymore. You know what I mean? And he just looks like crap. Like, you can, I don't know. It's just my opinion, guys. I know it's got nothing to do with me, but we all know I'm going to say what I think when I see it. And Prayer Garden, so they've obviously left Don and Candace, they left Cher's live and then gone over to Prayer Garden, and he beat up on Prayer Garden pretty bad. Wouldn't the water cause mold? Yes, it would, wouldn't it? plus the wall damage to the plasterboard. Yeah, it's just all dramatics. It's all bullshit. It's just like Molly and Doug the other night. Ring TBI, ring the sheriff's number. He was really chilled, but to me, he just doesn't look okay. And he sort of looks like at times he doesn't know what to say or do because she is so erratic, jumping out of her skin with I can't even explain it. You have to watch it to it's interesting how this virus affects folks. I know. I've just been talking to a couple of other mothers, gymnastics, and one of them has had insomnia so bad. She's only getting like 3 hours sleep a night and her body aches. She said she's never felt anything like it in her life. And another mum, she's just got respiratory problems, and another one's just got a headache. But there were two people this morning because sorry, I am all over the place. I can't help it. I start talking about something, then I start talking to the chat. So this morning's live was to address her having to end the live yesterday with the information she had to give to TBI, okay? So when she comes on this morning, it's all about her father and what her father thinks and her story with her father. And there's 2,000 people in that chat. I've never seen 2,000 people in there before, but they're just like me wanting to know what was going on at the end of her last live. So it absolutely did what she wanted it to do because everyone's there waiting for information. And then she just calmly like, oh no, I can show all the voice memos, but I can't play that one. Like, really? And then her and Scott H and some other Scott dude start talking about bears. And I'm like, this is absolutely ridiculous. That they basically said that they wanted to live a life with no kids. Yeah, because she kept going on about, it wasn't a confession, but it was like Casey Anthony's tattoo, okay? If you know the relevance of the tattoo that Casey Anthony got, then it's the same sort of thing. And I was just like, she said it's more about motive. Like, okay. So now I do not believe for a second, not that I did yesterday either. I thought it was all dramatic and bullshit. And even more so today. She's just trying to keep the audience. And it worked because 2,000 people were there today to hear about it. And 2,000 people could hear about bears attacking people and all sorts of stuff. And I was like, I'm out. If I wanted to hear about Scott H talking about bears, I would message him. Come on now. Like, seriously, who agrees with me that that's just playing the game? I'm outside because I need a cigarette. It's just crazy. So you've got to listen to the birdie. But yeah, I wasn't going to come live till this afternoon, but then there seems to be more dramatics later in the night, afternoon here. than there is of a morning. So I thought I'll come on earlier, and there never seems to be anyone on mid-morning my time. So maybe that'll work. But everyone decides to go live at the same time. Justice for All has it on his live from last night. Oh my God. The whole she has to ring TBI business. It's just insane. Yeah, they're talking about bears. That's when I'm done. I'm out. I think they were going along the narrative of a bear taking summer. And why Scott H got on panel was because people in the chat were saying he's in a relationship with Jody Sue. And Cher dropped the link for him to come up and talk about whether he was in a relationship with Jody Sue or not. So do you think Scott would say no when there's 2,000 people sitting there? So he got up there and sort of put that to rest, but then they started talking about the narrative of bears taking summer, and I was done. IP is your computer address. I'm so over all the headlines that want to suck your... Yeah, same here, Suzanne. That's why I was off with the fairies the other day after the whole Doug and Molly Go Lightly ring TBI and ring the sheriff's department. Chris come up and told us what was going on in real life at that moment. They're trying to get a young guy, 18 years old, airlifted out of Hawkins County in a helicopter and get all of that organised while Doug's on there harassing every Tom, Dick and Harry in law enforcement. It's... Yeah, lions, tigers and bears miss justice. Because I didn't want to upset creators I follow now, I don't care. No, I don't think you should hold back, Jackie Jude. I think it's important what all of you have to say. And that's why my lives are always about communicating with you guys. Like, what's the point of I don't understand creators that do a live. There are some that I've been in, they don't even look at their chat. The chat's just there. They don't even look at it. They don't even have the chat on their screen. And they just talk and do their thing. And then there's other ones I've been in that talk to their chat, but they scream at their chat and abuse their chat and totally go off, and they're blocking every 2 seconds. And I don't understand that either. Like, isn't that missing the whole point of doing a live? To me, it's about you guys as well. Well, it's totally about you guys. Dreamcatcher says, we were all on Ziggy's just joking around, and it was fun the other night picking people for ones and creators on chat. That's how that got started. Yeah, I haven't watched her for a few nights. No, I don't think people like, unless you're attacking me or calling me a horrible name or something. Yeah, there's a bee. I just don't understand how creators, if you have an opinion on something, they will block you just because you don't agree with them. I think that's rude. Scott was so funny when he got on panel with Gigi. Oh my God, yes. May Hazel. That was freaking hilarious. He did that so well, so calmly. It was in one of Ziggy's lives when the JFTK lady was on panel. You know, the conspiracy theory lady? This is who May's talking about. And she'd been saying Scott was a guy called Scott Travis. I actually thought he was married to Kourtney Kardashian. And she'd been saying all this really far-fetched, crazy stuff. And Scott got up there and she said, doesn't your father own Tucker Drywall? And Scott's like, no, I do. I own it. I'm like the managing chief executive. And he just took the piss out of her, but in a very calm, nice, sarcastic way. It was very well done. They don't interact with chat. Sorry, Suzanne. And you are the same, real Sharon, every live. I thank God for that. Oh, thank you, the real Gigi. I just worry that you guys get sick to death of listening to me, to be honest. Interact with chat as they want to hold the show, a voice, their own opinions onto you. But I learn from you guys, like with this steam plant. I haven't had time to look into what an actual steam plant is. So I think we all learn off each other. Like you guys have info that I don't know about. And I never pretend that I know everything about any of these cases. I did put a nice comment under a creator's video I followed for months this morning, and the creator deleted my comment. I posted it again because I thought I didn't post it, and it got deleted again. You're kidding, Jackie Jude. See, I don't delete shit. I don't, because the nasty ones I have got on a few videos, I think it's I look at it as constructive criticism, and I'm fine with that. Like, I'm fine taking negative comments about myself. If it was about someone else I like, I would probably be tearing my hair out because that's just the way I am. Perhaps some of you might enjoy a channel called Grizzly True Crime. She's a Dutch lady who presents excellent material. Oh, thanks for the recommendation, Gymnastics 101. I'll have to check her out. No, I've got one, May, and Griffey's going to teach me how to use it. And I went to do it with her about 2 weeks ago. And I know this is really slack, but it had expired. So I have to update it, like the payment detail things, and I just keep forgetting about it. But I don't know. So you got to click on a country, and I think it then projects that you're in that particular country that you click on. I think. I don't understand it. But Griffey's going to sort it for me as soon as I remember. Somebody put in the comments, Sharon, remember the VPN. Then I might get onto it. I just don't want to hassle her as well because they moved in. They're in their new little unit. She sent me some videos last night when I went to bed. So I got a full house tour. And obviously they were still in the process of unpacking, but everything they own was in there. the kids' beds and their beds and everything was set up. So I was so happy for them. Really, that's really off, isn't it? And disappointing. I bet you got... I was surprised the other day when I could see Tiffany Marie again. I said, oh man, she unblocked me. I watched their beginning lives and videos up to that point to see. And I love them. Wow, real Gigi. If you are a creator, you need to get a PO box and use for address on Google and YouTube accounts. Yeah, I went and got a PO box, but I think it's really, being in Australia, it's sort of, I don't know, I just feel like maybe it was overkill. Yeah, I was really, you could just hear how happy they were. And like, I always forget her name, their little one. What's her name? Hi, Libby. I'm so sorry. I am so sorry, Lib. I didn't realize I was going live at the same time until like 5 minutes before, and Nita's on at the same time. I try not to ever go live at the same time as you, but we seem to have the same sort of patterns. Maybe I start scheduling a night time like I used to. But yeah, she had the video had the kids sitting up on their beds all made up and everything, and it was just awesome. They've been through so much, haven't they? I hope you're well, Lib. You're moving today too, aren't you? Or did you do that today? Are you all moved in and settled? Oh, Ziggy doesn't read them. I try to read them and respond to everybody. Like, it might not be as soon as I finish the live, but you get little notifications when someone comments, and I get an email as well. So I do try to always respond to everyone, and I appreciate comments because it sort of helps the algorithm, guys. You are too sweet. Don't worry about that. I just scheduled it randomly when I found out about the school shooting. Oh, wow. Another one. I am from... Yes, I moved in. And you don't like it? Why not? It's in the same building, isn't it? Yeah, it is, Sassy Noz. It's supposed to be in the 90s, high 90s, I think, like a really good oxygen rate. Oh, why can't you tag her, Sunny D? Sunny D says, hi, Libby. For some reason, she can't tag you. That's weird. Jackie Jr. cracked me up. You can't help leaving smart-ass comments on Ziggy's community. No. I'm sure Libby will have a look at it for you, Sunny D. Maybe it's because she's got that that little apple. I think you have to put the emote emoji of the apple in between Libby and lessons. I don't know, but when I try and tag her on my phone, I never put the apple in, and I don't know whether she actually sees me or not. Oh, she sees you, see? I think it's got something to do with the apple. I really do. Because it even happened, look, I'll try here. If I do it at Libby, this is a good experiment. Libby lessons. See, it doesn't come up. But if you put the apple in there, that's what it is, Sunny D. If you don't put the apple in, it doesn't automatically come up. But she said she can definitely see you. Sassy Nose says, oh, okay, that's why he's on treatment. But his isn't, so I know it's not the device. Oh, dear. Yeah, one of Layla's besties has got asthma and she hasn't had COVID yet. So her mum's really, really stressing out about her going to school. I'm sure Libby can see that we're all giving her love. I'm worried why she doesn't like it. Oh, some man's yelling and cussing by your room. Does he live next door or something? Oh, that's not good. I really hope he doesn't live there. He might be just visiting and upset. Tell him you will get Jody Sue onto him. Yeah, YouTube needs... I would totally agree with you, Sunny D, that YouTube needs... I don't know how on earth they would do it, but there needs to be more... what's the word? Accountability for what some creators are doing and getting away with. I hope he's just visiting Libby. Now I'm going to be thinking about this all day. I thought it was in the same building, just not where you are now. But that would be a pain, wouldn't it? I couldn't, Suzanne. I would absolutely shit myself. Get brave and shout out the door. And if I did yell out, I would never come out of that door ever again. I cracked up yesterday. I was watching Dutchie's discussions, and Libby was on panel, and Libby said, I think one of them said, do you check the back seat of the car before you get in just to make sure there's no murderers in the back of it? And I swear to God, here she is. Dutch's discussions. Shush, Bads. Come on. Stop. I swear to God, I do that, especially if it's nighttime. I think about things like that all the time. Oh no, Lib, don't be scared. Oh, now I'm scared for you. Jackie Jude always looks in the back seat too, guys. Oh dear. Yeah, and our car has one of them things that you can just open the driver's side, so all the other car doors don't open at the same time. I think that's an awesome safety feature, because once you're in, you can then unlock the other doors. But I used to always worry years ago, before that feature was a thing, that if I unlocked the car, then they would just jump in the passenger side if they were going to carjack me or something. I'm afraid it will wreck me. You have the same sense of humor as me, the real Gigi. That is hilarious. See, I think of things like that too, to prank people. I love practical jokes when they're harmless, like not to hurt people. I don't know if I told you guys about that. Hubby had a battery charger thing. Actually, his mother had it, and it started beeping constantly and wouldn't stop. And it was a loud beep, and it used to drive me insane every time I went up there. So I brought it home to chuck in our big wheelie bin, and hubby took it out and reckoned he could fix it. So it sat up in his shed, but I swear it even in my shed with the doors closed, I could still hear this thing in his shed 50 feet away beeping. And anyway, it was a bit of a joke about this beeping battery charger doing everyone's head in. Even the neighbours were sick of it. And when I had a stitching night one night, Layla and I decided to play a trick on one of my friends and put it in the back of her car, because she parks right next to my shed up the back. And we got it in the car without her knowing, like snuck her car keys and everything. Anyway, I've gone out to have a smoke about 10 minutes before she was leaving, and Layla come out, and I said, "Did you put it in the car?" And she goes, "Yeah." But then I took it back out, and I said, "Why?" Like finally thinking I'm going to get rid of this thing. And she said, "Because I'm just scared, Nan." She said, "What if Annie gets down the road and it starts beeping and it scares her and she has an accident?" And I thought, oh my God, I never even thought of that. "Hi, Dragon. How are you?" So she took it out and put it back in his shed. But I thought, she's very mature thinking for a 12-year-old. I walk with my key sticking out of my fist, have done for years. Yeah. That's a good, I think you just have to be alert these days. Even in our small town, I wouldn't walk down the main street of a night time. It's sad, but you've just got to sometimes think of the risks. Oh, Libby was going to give you a wrench, Dragon, but she didn't see you in the chat. I got in wrong car once and my keys started the car. It was a Honda. I called the company, said they only make a certain number. Oh, you're kidding. I was parked out the front of the butcher's a couple of weeks ago, Elizabeth, and because it was when my daughter and her wife were in isolation and they wanted a big dog bone for their golden retriever. Shush. Hey, stop. No, I'm not playing right now. So I said to Lay, "Can you run in and grab the dog bone from the butcher's?" So she's run in and grabbed this, and it come like, I swear to God, it was a bullock's leg she come walking out of the butcher's with this bone she could hardly carry. She walked straight past our car, and I'm just sitting there watching her. And there was another car. Ours is a Pathfinder, but there was a Navara parked 2 cars up, and it was exactly the same color. And she's walked up and opened the passenger side door, and the driver was sitting in the car. I honestly nearly peed myself before I got home. It was so funny just to see the horrified look on Layla's face. Oh dear. The novelty never wears off. Yeah, you should have seen her. She was and little Miss 9 started school yesterday, and she's really she loved it. She had a great day. We talked to her before and after school, so I'm just so relieved and happy. If you do not be quiet, I swear you're going to meet the cat. Stop. He's going off because I'm not playing. No, you don't do, but no, it was the biggest butcher's bone, dog bone I've ever seen in my life. It was like 2 foot long. Like I couldn't even see that being half of a cow's leg. It was like huge. And I thought, how is a dog even going to get its mouth around that? Yeah, she's doing really good. God, that's such a relief that. But do you know what? Their uniform is entirely black. She has black polo, black skirt, black socks, black shoes, black hat. I've never seen all black in any school uniform in my life. Liquid ass. Jackie Jude says, I have a spray called Liquid Ass. The smell is awful. My son and I sprayed it in the bread aisle at the market and hung out at the end of the aisle to watch people's facial expressions. Oh my God. I love doing things like that. Hubby and I love to do pranks on the grandkids. Little Miss 4, little Lily, she is petrified of the Grinch, and we shopped and shopped, looked everywhere trying to get a Grinch costume at Christmas time. We could not find one anywhere because Pop was going to dress up as the Grinch and walk in there Christmas Day just so we could film it. We're terrible grandparents. It's funny as though. We did it to Layla when she was like 2.5 because she was petrified of Santa Claus, and we got that one filmed. Back in Black, yes, she is, Miss Justice. It's yeah, it's just very strange, Suzanne. I'll send you a photo. It's just weird to me. Like Wagga Wagga is the town of the crows, they call it, because there's I don't know, that's like their little emblem is crows. And I don't know if that's got anything to do with it. Not sure, but it just looks weird. She did a little fashion parade for us on Facebook Live the other day on the weekend to show us her new uniform and stuff. And when the camera went on her, Layla and I just sat there speechless because we didn't know what to say because we'd never seen black, all black. I've seen black polo shorts, shirts, but not every, like even the socks are black. Oh my God, did you, Jackie Jude? You're a little rebel. She sprayed it in her supervisor's office while she was at lunch. I told no one. She came back from lunch and started taking her trash out and called the maintenance man. Oh, I love it. The movie The Birds. Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's the town of the crows. It's just Wiradjuri country is like their ancestor region name, like from the Aboriginal side of things. I don't know what tomorrow is. I don't know. I'll have a look. I don't know what the emblem was. I think it was a bird, to be honest. Oh, my phone's died. That's a bugger. It really has. I can't believe that. Had it on charge all night. I woke up in the middle of the night and was I was watching yours, Penny, or listening to it. The Jodie Sue one. I can't do Jodie Sue. Elizabeth just emailed your supervisor, Jackie Jude. That's so funny. It must be representing crow's plumage. Why else would you dress kids in all black, very hot in summer? Exactly, gymnastics. If I could, I don't know if I can show you guys. Hang on, I'll have a look and see if I can find it. No, it's in my text messages, not on Facebook. Otherwise, I could show you. And now my phone's flat. It's really bizarre. Even when we showed hubby the photo, he was like, what? You'll be rolling on the floor laughing. I'm going to have a look now. Jackie Jude, you've got me. There's so many people I could prank with that stuff. I put cigarette loads in my supervisor's cigarettes one day a week. Kintsuchi. You were a timid child, Suzanne. Oh, gosh. My Sydney sisters and I, we used to do that we used to call it knock on ginger, where you go and knock on people's doors and run away, and we thought we were rebels and we were so bad. But nowadays there's so many good pranks you can do. I can't imagine you being a timid child, Suzanne. Oh no, it's growing. Last night I had to do heaps more prep. So I cut out about another 300 of the pink and about another 100 of the white and started covering my big piles. So I didn't stitch last night. I was just prepping, but it is growing. So I'll put another photo on the community post to show you guys. Sunny D says, we got one of my high school teachers a case of Blue Star and put it in his mailbox with the help of the principal's secretary. He was a jerk to the females. Oh, no way. You put it in their sunroof. You are a little prankster. That would have been gold. You were really shy and timid. my God. Yeah, I gathered that's what it was, Sunny D. Isn't it funny how you look back to how you were as a little one compared to what you're like now, and the differences. I was always like I was saying the other day on the last live to Penny, I was saying I'm always like, doesn't matter what age group I'm with, I'm always like the little kid, even with like really elderly ladies. I'm still, or with people my own age, I'm always like the class clown. But I think I've always sort of been like that. And it lasts 30 minutes. Wow. That's crazy to last that long. No. White is not a good colour for me either, Miss Justice. I seem to spill more on myself nowadays. When I'm eating than I ever have in my life. I don't know what's going on. The adult bibs are starting to look appealing. Jackie Jude says she used to be super shy, but she's not anymore. I'm still that person that doesn't like going anywhere by herself. Anywhere. I love driving by myself. And I'll sort of go to Kmart and big places like that. But I don't really even like going to supermarkets by myself. I don't know why. Hi, Sammy Sparrow. How are you? I haven't seen you forever. I'm happy to see you, though. That's awesome. You're the clown, too. I've always been like the class clown. How can you get olive oil out of a sweatshirt? Oh, come on, everyone. Kintsugi needs some advice. Olive oil. I've heard that eucalyptus spray can help get a lot of oils out of fabrics. I don't know if that would help. Oh, wow. Well, you have a lovely swim, Libby. And I hope that nasty guy doesn't live there and he's gone when you get back. Tell him you've got people and we will come for him. You've only got to make a phone call and we're all there. Okay? Download some machine gun noises and just start playing that. We'll get you a sound box. Yeah? And plug it in. And you can have a cranky dude at your unit as well. Yeah, that's me too, Jackie Jude. I spill everything. I think that's the go, Lib. If he lives there, we've got to get rid of him. You've been lost in the YouTube streets again, Sammy Sparrow. It's not hard, is it? I tell you what, though, guys, if you want to laugh, not last night's live, but the live the night before on that Dolly Vision dude, fast forward all the way to the time, I don't know what the timestamp is, but when Molly comes on panel. If you want to laugh, you go and read the comment section in that live when Molly appears. I have never in my life seen one creator be so, I've never seen a chat so irate in my life that she was on panel. Every single person in there was losing their shit and wanting her gone. It's gone crazy, Semi Sparrow, I know. And creators that were pulling like 1,200 people, I've noticed their views have gone way, way down. And other ones have gone through the roof. And I think that's common. Like, I don't think it's going to be exactly the same all the time. Yeah, Dutchie will be there. I reckon that's a go, though. Yeah, his name, Suzanne, his channel name's called Dolly Vision. And after dinner, our time, you know how there's never anyone on other than Ziggy or Prayer Garden. If I've caught up with everyone else, I've been just going over to that Dolly Vision, and some nights it's all right, but sometimes I can't do it because it's really, he has one of them really animated green screen setups. So he's got things flashing, and every time he gets a super chat, it yells out what's written in the super chat and noises, and it's a lot. So I can only do small doses, but it was so hilarious that just about every single person in that chat, 300 odd people, were all losing their minds because nobody wanted Molly up on panel. And all she talked about was, you guessed it, herself. So apparently Dolly has some sort of affiliation with Corey Feldman. So the guy's name whose channel is called Dolly Vision, his actual name is Jimmy. So Jimmy's talking about Corey Feldman. So Molly speaks over the top of him and starts talking about Aaron Carter and how she set him up in business, and like everything was just about her, and the chat was not having it, and every single person was jacking up, and even I had a go at it. Like, I was telling the chat my views, and there was a lady in there, and she was saying as a general thing, like, you're being disrespectful for Jimmy if you're speaking nasty to Molly, and that's not okay. So I sort of agreed, and I stopped doing it, but the other 290 people in there didn't stop. They kept doing it. Pardon?
Do you want to go to the pub for lunch?
Which?
Oh, he's been trying to ring you.
My phone's flat.
No.
This guy loves fly spray, guys. I'm going to keel over in a minute because he's spraying the shit everywhere. Don't tell him if it works. You'll never hear the end of it. She in the wrong room. No, I won't. You can go, Buck. I can't believe LC taught MGL how to use. I know. Did you see that, Penny? It was sickening. Yeah, he loves fly spray.
Oh, I saw it, dude.
I hate flies too. It's probably my fault because Miss Maisie likes to go out into the carport. So I'll leave the sliding door open like 4 inches so she can go in and out. Yeah, Mr. Down Under. He wanted to know if I wanted to go for lunch. I probably should, but I don't. You know, it's the whole getting ready bit. And lunch finishes at 2 p.m. and it's already 1:10. It'll just be a big rush. Or you should see our flies, Sunny D. They're big flies. He is a sweetie. But I doubt he'll go because I'm not going. Even though I said it's fine, you can go, he still won't. He's funny.
Oh, no.
You can go. By the time I have a shower and everything, it'll be too long.
Taking a shot.
Huh? He's gonna go.
You know where you got.
Takes him like 2 minutes to get ready to go anywhere.
You know where we.
You going like that? I'm going there after I pick Lay up from school. We still haven't given Lily her birthday presents, and it was
Where?
to Ben and Carly's.
Oh.
I'm not going to the pub after school, no.
Oh, what?
We won't see him till 9 o'clock tonight, guys. Whenever it's, oh, do you want to go to the pub or the club for lunch? That means we go for the meal and they stay there and we go back and pick them up at like 10 or 11 o'clock tonight. It's just that, yeah, I bet that's what happens. Oh, the spiders. I swear to God, that's the only thing I hate about winter, Sunny D, is spiders. Because we have the wood fire, I'm always paranoid about there being spiders on the wood, you know, when you bring the wood inside to stack. Yeah, I know I'm going to be in trouble because I'm shocking semi-sparrow. Because I always have my phone on silent because of the notifications. So if people ring me, I never ever hear it. And I'm always in trouble for never answering my phone. That's just me every single day. But it is honestly, because I told you guys like half an hour ago it was definitely flat. Yeah, flies. We don't get flies in winter, do we, semi-sparrow? It's just flies and mosquitoes right now are really, really bad. And because it's been so wet this summer, you can't even go outside for 10 minutes unless you've got spray on because you just get eaten alive. You went to the store braless yesterday. My God, Penny. Didn't mean to. Then I got out of my warm car and realized, oh, well, no one noticed through my sweater. I do it with sweaties with jumpers and that on. But I've got no boobs, so you can't really tell. Horseflies are bad, yes. They sting, don't they, them things? I can't imagine Penny going into a shop with no bra on, whether she had a hoodie on or not. I don't answer my phone, always in trouble for it. Really? We have so many things in common, semi-sparrow, it's crazy. But I always have it on silent all the time. Hi, proud Aussie Nan. How are you? Your puppy? You look like Candace, Suzanne says, Penny. Oh, hell no. Did you guys hear what Cher said this morning that Candace said to her on the phone before it went south yesterday? Apparently Cher showed her so Cher dyed her hair purple, and Candace told her that she can't dye her hair purple because it has another meaning to it. Did you guys hear that? And Candace said, I couldn't dye my hair purple if I wanted to because I've got enough women trying to sleep with me. Side boob. Oh dear. And I'd never heard that before. And Cher said, is that seriously what it means? And Candace said, yes, definitely. So it sort of spiked my interest for two things. Firstly, I'd never ever heard that before. And secondly, it sort of backs up that there's some sort of code with hair colors. Remember they were talking about it when there were the photos with Summer with blue hair and how that represented something. And I thought, well, she's aware of the hair color theories because she knew about this purple thing. Yeah, well, Cher was talking about it today on her live, so you need to. And I'd never ever heard that before either, so I don't know. Yeah, don't ever go purple, guys, because that's what it means apparently.
Wow, I'll be back.
Okay. Sharon, tell it like it is. Oh, Cheryl, sometimes I try not to because it gets me into trouble. But I'm always 100% myself. So sometimes it comes out of my mouth what I think. But yeah, it did sort of get me thinking about Summer's hair being blue, because remember it was a thing where people were saying the blue hair represents something in the P world. And I never even knew that back then when they were talking about Summer's hair being blue. I've never heard of lesbian purple hair code. We should Google it, guys. I kind of wonder if I missed out on my best friend who I have a huge crush on now. Oh, you're funny, May Hazel. You're fine, Sunny D. My sister painted her front door purple. Then someone told her that's a sign the people living in the house are swingers. Oh, no way. Oh, my God. No, side boob, laughed out loud. I was hidden with a sweaty jacket. Yeah, that's what I do too in winter. After all the scrutiny for colouring Summer's hair. Yes. Yeah, well, that might be the thing too. She's more aware of what it all means now. Did you see the end of her live, Penny, yesterday, where she had to end the live and send the information to TBI and all the dramatics that went with that? And she comes on this morning and says, raves on for an hour and then says, oh, we can't play that one little clip because TBI said not to, conveniently. Oh, It just drives me insane. The way she carried on, I was sitting there thinking, girl, this better be a confession, because the way you're carrying on, like right this second, nothing is going to justify your theatrics other than a confession, in my opinion. And I was right again. I never knew. I love rich purple as a colour. Lucky you haven't painted my front door that colour then. Yes, you are. There is a house like 2 blocks away that now has purple front door and windowsills. No, well, actually, the only reason I knew about it was because I wasn't in the live. I think I was either in Ziggy's or Prayer Gardens, because I was jumping between both of them. And I read in the chat that something just happened over on Chair's channel and she had to end the live and call TBI and da-di-da-di-da. And then she took the video down. But Maleficent got a clip of it and she played it later that night, my time. So I got to see it there without having to watch the Share episode, like the actual. But yeah, it was just like the other day when she had Don and her father speaking on the live on 2 different phones, and she was just jumping out of her skin. She was loving every second of Donald yelling and screaming at her and then putting her dad on the phone. It's just not normal for a girl that's only had a father back in her life for the last 6 weeks, who is a institutionalized guy that up until 6 weeks ago didn't want a relationship with her, to the way she's carrying on now on lives with her dad and Donald. It is weird to me. It's like every live she wants her dad on the live with her. And to me, I just find it bizarre. I don't understand. Like, I understand she's craving her father's attention and love because she's never had it, but this is a really, really weird way of doing it, in my opinion. I don't know. Tell me what you think in the comments below, guys, as Don B would say. Yeah, it's just weird, Miss Justice. I can't work it out. It's just bizarre to me. Why would you put that on YouTube? Yeah, I know. It's just... And this morning she said that once her dad found out that Don has admitted to the SA with his stepsisters, her father has now, as of today, refused to ever speak to the Welleses ever again. And he wants no part of it at all. But apparently at the end of this live, Don Wells and Candace were both pleading to Share that they had to speak to her dad again because he needed to help them. He really, really they needed him to help them. And even that was weird to me. What on earth could Cher's dad help them with? You know, it's just, I don't know. It's bizarre. And as a parent, I know he hasn't been in her life, but here's Don and Candace yelling and screaming at Cher, right? And here's her dad on the phone listening to this, and he didn't have that instinct where if it was me, you would be saying, shut the fuck up and stop talking to my daughter like that. Her father didn't do that. Her father didn't react as a father. He said to Donald, he spoke to him just like nice as pie. And I was like, this is so fucked up on every level, I don't even know. And I'm not joking. You can go and watch it for yourself. It's just weird. And here's poor Mark, Mr. Cher, sitting there with blood draining from his face, getting more anemic by the second. And that guy is not well. I'll say it again. You can't see this ending. No, I'm going to go up there in the morning. Cheryl, I've been so slack. I've been actually working day and night on Suzanne's quilt, and I've got 8 ready to put the borders on, and one's just about finished. So we might do that tomorrow and get them on the quilting machine. It's just been I've just been really, really slack. And with having the sea and everything, to go up there and sit at the sewing machine and stuff's just been work. Yeah, Sammy Barrett, it just makes you wonder, is there ever going to be an end? What's going to happen when Don goes to court next week? Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. Any other dad, if they were sitting there listening to 2 people abusing, whether it's an adult child or not, they would still be defensive and say, that's not okay. You don't talk to my daughter or any female in that manner. But he didn't faze him whatsoever. And I thought that was really bizarre. Totally dollar driven from the get-go. Nothing's changed. Yep. I don't know, Hurricane. I know. Does he have MS? I really feel like there's something not right with him. He just looks really, really pale and I don't know, not even that engaged lately. He seems super quiet, and she is that over the top. I don't think he could get a word in lately if he wanted to. You've seen the way she reacted last week when he tried to do something on his own stream and how crazy aggro she got. Maybe he just thinks I'm better off just sitting here and doing nothing. Because you can see her adrenaline just pumping. She wants them views. She wants people in that chat. Yeah, you don't think she'll cope without him? Well, I don't think it's going to bother her too much, to be honest, because it honestly didn't seem to bother her when he was gone for 3 months in Utah. She had the time of her life by the sound of it with Jose. He went into the MS last night on live. Really, Chris? Well, there you go. I didn't know that. Well, that's even more reason that she shouldn't be getting so worked up and dramatic and carrying on like that. Oh my God, that even makes me more cranky. Because wouldn't you think things would be worse? Because it's a neurological thing. Wouldn't you think it would be better for him to be in calm, non-stressful lifestyle while Cher was talking to Don? I feel sorry for him. I don't think she's good for him. He needs to get rid of her. Oh, so are you, Jackie Jude. I thought you were going to say it's really boosted your spirits and you're going out to buy more spray. I have to get some of this spray, honestly. There's so many people I'm thinking of I can prank. Yeah, well, he's the worker, isn't he, Miss Justice? I don't think Cher works. He's a carpenter, I know that much. But Don did go, when he left talking to Mrs. Cher, he went over to Prayer Gardens. And I think he rang her like 4 times. And did he, I swear to God, the way he speaks to women, play it, please. What are we playing, Miss Penny? I have to go into my YouTube to get the link. Hang on. I should have got him to get me a takeaway. Shouldn't I? He'll say, bad luck, you should have come if you wanted it. I know he will. I can't text him anyway. Shh, shh, shh. I do not like hearing my voice. Hang on, Penny, I'm just getting it.
And everything else.
Oh, not this crazy nutter. She's changed her name again. It's now True Lives. This is the content thief, guys, that has been stealing all the creators that make and edit their own content. So her channel was taken down. She was missing but not forgotten. Her channel, that channel was taken down for stealing content. And she started up another channel called True Crimes and More. And now she has changed the name of the channel again because creators are still calling her out and it's not going to stop. And I'm thinking this is a rebuttal type video, is it, Penny? Let's see what she's got to say.
Anything else.
Just let the bitch talk, right? Because we all see the train wreck that she is, what she's doing. However, I saw that video today, and I thought this bitch did not really do that and go there when, like, do I even need to even say anything? Because if you go to her about, I think even on her new channel.
She went to get her phone, so hold on, you'll be hearing it. I'm hitting my vape.
There is a lot I could see, Trish.
What was that, Penny? I thought she went to get her vape. She is really, really weird. The new name is True to Lives, I think. She's, oh, why won't that go down? She's, I'm just subscribing to this channel. Say less zombie looking ass. Is that Benny's channel, Penny? They said she's on that shit. Oh, I thought that's... I'm going to share that again so you can see. Yeah, she was doing something in there. See this? Say less zombie looking ass is the channel that she clipped at. So this Trisha Jenkins, who is now True Lives, has said bullying is a crime. Set a better example for your children. Grow up, act like an adult, not a freaking teenager. Why would she have to go back there to hit her vape? We not dumb, Trisha. Please get help. Ooh. She come back awfully happy too, didn't she? Then what was on her face? Oh, we have to play it again.
And everything else. She went to get her phone, so hold on, you'll be hearing it. I'm hitting my vape.
Sure, lady. Pay attention to her face when she comes back. Okay, Penny. No, she makes me sick. Honestly. She just thinks everything is a big joke, doesn't she? Where's all these 7 kids when she's doing all this shit? That's what I want to know. Oh my God. I cannot get the dumbass thing. Thank you. Why won't the page go down? I swear I'm going to throw this laptop. It's not going to do it. Yeah, that's her. Yeah, she's got 7 kids. And she's 30, I think someone said 34. I don't know, I could hear a lot of plastic noises right at the beginning when she first went behind there. But I didn't hear no vape noise. Yeah, 7 she's got. It's not Benny, they're just using his picture. Yeah, she's just weird. And she thinks she's really, really hot. Yeah, it does. That's what caught my attention as well, was the title. But I don't know. Sometimes you hear kids in the background when she's standing in the kitchen all the time. I feel like saying, can you please sit down? Like, it annoys me watching her standing there. The couple of times I have gone in there. It probably was. I don't know. Go to her Facebook page. It's wide open. Last week she posted she's thinking of getting a job and needs a babysitter for her 5-year-old. Oh, God. Oh, I heard she was 34, 35. But I think that was just in one of our chats. Someone said that. So she could be 40. She can't sit still, Sharon, if she's... Well, that's probably it, Sunny D. That's probably why she's always standing. It's just weird to me that you would set up a live and stand up the whole time. It's like you're waiting for her to pull down the weather screen. And today we're expecting... That's how I feel the couple of times I've been in there. She said she's 35. That's what I thought. Someone said 35. What's a bong? Like the paraphernalia that you smoke marijuana with that has the water in the bottom and the little pipe thing that you stick it in and suck it all out of. I swear to God, I've done it 3 times in my whole life. And the first time I was like a paranoid nutter and stood behind a kitchen door and would not come out because I thought I thought there was something wrong with my face, that because I'd done it, it would show and that people could tell. So I just stood behind the door like, that's not going to raise any eyebrows, is it? The second time I had ridiculous laughing where I could not stop. And the third time I went to sleep. And I thought none of them things were enjoyable to me, like I was having a great time. So I never did it again. Just not my thing. But other than drugs, if there's anything out there addictiveness-wise, I reckon I'm part of that. Just lucky for me, I never got addicted to drugs. Can you do meth out of a bong? I don't know, Penny. Don't they do that in a little pipe thing? A little clear glass pipe? Or they put it on foil and light up the foil with a lighter underneath it. I've seen that on some of them addiction shows. I'm not joking. That 3 times, 3 different things happen. And, oh, hi, Benny. Thanks for coming in. Yeah, I was like, nah, this is not fun. Oh, I couldn't do a needle. Oh, my God, no. I'm just lucky I've never become a diabetic because I don't think I could do it. Oh, Penny. Benny says you can do meth out of a bong. There you go. Oh, my God. This is crazy shit. Hello, Benny. You're so cute. And I was with you yesterday, brother, on the way to the service and on the way home. And I understand, like, you can't read comments when you're driving. But I even messaged Penny and said, can you please let Benny know I'm thinking of him today? And your story, Benny, really, really got to me when you were driving home. The situations that you talked about with your sister is so much similar to what we deal with our eldest daughter, and she's 36. But hers isn't alcohol, it's well, I guess in America you guys call it meth, but in Australia it's called ice. And yeah, it's very, very similar, like the interactions that you spoke about and how it affected all your relationships and trying to help her and everything else. It was so raw to me, and I knew exactly what you're talking about with all of it. It's just so hard, isn't it? Oh, it's called ice there too. Yeah, we hope so too, but it's just, you just don't know. And because we're raising her daughters, it's well, the 9-year-old's now gone to live with her dad, so that's working out really well. But we've still got the older one, and she's 12. We have to make her babies our focus because we can't do any more for her. Like, it's up to her now to try and pull herself out of it. Ice is top shelf meth. Okay. And the only reason I know that about the foil and the little glass thing is because when they took the girls, we had CPS give us an hour to go through the house they were living in because it was a Department of Housing house, and we had an hour to get both girls' belongings that we wanted, and that's what I saw everywhere were the little burned out square pieces of foil and ashtray after ashtray of that, and marijuana butts and all of that, as well as like empty Valium tabs. And it was so confronting and so sad. Like, we had our suspicions, but that it was ice, but we never had actually seen it. She was pretty clever at hiding it if she knew we were coming. Like, they're very, very shady and clever in the way they hide stuff. But yeah, an hour we had to get. Like, to be honest, there wasn't a lot we wanted to take, but it was like meaning clothes or possessions, but it's them things you can't get back, even though we had a lot of memorabilia for the girls when they were babies here, little things that they've had from birth, you know, things like that. And they stuck to it too. They stood beside the front door. They inspected everything we took out of that house. And yeah, that was one of the hardest things I've ever had to do. We had to actually get the girls and leave town. They told us just go, get in the car and go while we go and confront mum and everything like that. And then they rang us when we could come back to our own house. It was so much. And that was 7 years ago. And, you know, it's just, I got it. It's on every level of everything you're talking about yesterday. It was profound to me. But she sees that this year, they hadn't seen her for 2 years. And they've had 2 one-hour contact visits with her this year so far. And what was really, really sad about it is she bought the younger one who's turning 9 you know, the little motorized motorbikes that you would buy for a 3-year-old. She bought her one of those. And that sort of just said everything to me, because she has no clue. Like, she is that messed up still. She has no clue that a 9-year-old, in her mind, her 9-year-old daughter is still 3, you know. Protecting yourself from your daughter's addiction is key. Yeah, we sort of, we had to not forget about her, but we can't make her our focus anymore. For the girls, they have to be the priority. Yes, I agree. Like, all we can do is pray and hope that whatever this rock bottom is, it comes and the girls are her priority. And that's so true, isn't it? Being part of a family is a privilege, not a right. Absolutely. I hate saying absolutely. Sound like prayer garden. Can't do it. Penny says she has 3 people on one bloodline that suffers from addiction. I'm too afraid if I take RX meds, I might have that addictive trait. Yeah. It's scary. It's sad. And when it really, really gets to me is when the girls are unwell, or it's Mother's Day, things like that is when I get really, really emotional, because that's when they need their mum, not their nan. So it's hard. And I just wanted you to know that even though we haven't physically lost her, we still grieve for the person she used to be. And we're still grieving and want her to come back to us the way she used to be. But I don't think... Oh, thank you, Benny. Yeah, it is. It's a lot. But yeah, as I said before, I'm just lucky because I am such an addictive personality that I've never gone down that road. But and that's even, they always say, you know, it's not always the case, but I've never been a drinker. Like, I'll have the odd social drink. Hubby and I have never been into drugs or anything, but she gets in with the wrong crowd at school, in high school, and it just went pear-shaped from then. So it doesn't always have to be a genetically, you know how it goes down from generation to generation and learned behaviors. It's not always that. But then you have the stigma, you know, that because your child suffers from addiction, then what did you do wrong raising her? And you have all that stress as well. Anything she's done wrong, you feel like you've done what they've done, sort of thing. But yeah. And one of my cousins are on heroin and should have died for sure. Blew no pulse out of it for days, but somehow he made it again. Wow. Some people are just not meant to go. It's just, yeah. The funny thing is she lives 40 minutes away from us now, but she's been in the same place. This is what gives me a little bit of hope. She's been in the same place now for 18 months, which is a first. Since she was like 17, she's never stayed in one place longer than like 3 or 4 months, and she's on the move again. And she just sort of lived a life of couch surfing continuously. And when the last 7 years has just been couch surfing, homeless couch. That's what her lifestyle is. But she's been where she is now for 18 months. So hopefully that means, she told my youngest daughter the other day that she's now seen a psychologist and stuff. But we'll see, because she has a tendency of telling you what you want to hear. And she's always done that. It's like she is a chameleon, and she can blend into any personality on earth and totally talk the talk. She is amazing at it. And that's why she can get away with the things she has. But yeah, every time the phone rings late of a night, or not that we get many people knocking on the door, but you wouldn't believe it. We only had the Ring doorbell up for a week, and stop. And hubby come out of the bedroom one night. It was about 9:30, 10 o'clock at night, and he said, "The police are out the front. Have a look on your phone." And I had a look, and here's 2, we call them paddy wagons over here. There's 2 of them right out the front. So I'm sitting there watching them, and I thought they were coming up our driveway, but they went next door and knocked on the door. But for them few minutes waiting for them to see where they were going to walk to, I'm sitting there having every horrific thought in my head that they're coming to tell us the bad news. And thankfully it wasn't, but yeah. It's always in the back of your head. So just know many people, real, genuine people, were thinking of what you went through yesterday, and the way you spoke when you're driving home. I think she would have heard every word and agreed with everything you said. If you don't stop talking, it was a lot. But we're all here for each other, and that's what I love about our little channel. Oh my God, Penny. I was T-boned in my car oh my God. I was T-boned in my car in 2018. They gave me stuff, but I never could make myself take it. I'm not a quitter, so I don't want to start. That's a good way of looking at it, Penny. That's a really good way of looking at it. But that's your self-awareness. Like you're worried before you even go there that could become a thing. So that's awesome that you're aware of that. But it's not awesome that you're in pain. Sassy Nos says, the only thing I could do for my daughter is to protect her son and keep him being put in the system, so at least she would have him. Even though he's ours now, we don't keep him from her. Yeah. See, the thing with our situation, Sassy, is it's probably a little bit different now that they're a bit older, but she has to see them supervised because a lot of the time she's under the influence and we don't want that. Yeah, I've never it's really good that you were that self-aware, Penny, not to go there at all. That's what hubby says about me, that once I'm involved or something, I can't do it. It's 110% into it, no matter what it is. Like even if I start a new hobby, I've got to have every single tool, everything involved with that hobby. Like I go overboard on everything. Morphine patches, never again. I've had Suzanne with me back. They're like oxy slow release patches. I was prescribed them, but they burnt my skin and I couldn't wear them. I was allergic to them. So maybe that was a good thing. Oh, why does he have to be so noisy? Please stop. How was your swim, Libby? Has that guy gone yet? Because we're all armed and ready to charge. They have to realize that the baby, they remember. Yeah, see, she's not there. That was like our daughter, Sassy Nos, buying a 9-year-old a 3-year-old toy. I think there's long-term brain damage there as well. And it's just sad. Like she texted my other daughter on the weekend and Shelby sent it to me, the screenshots. And it's like, you know, where you have to unscramble things on them game shows to make a sentence. It was like that. Like you couldn't even make heads nor tails of a sentence because it's just so jumbled up. And that's when you know she's under the influence. Well, they do say that, Penny, that a lot of people, the only thing that saves them is jail. And how our daughter's ever kept out of jail, I don't know. Do you think so, Suzanne? Because I can come out here 10 times a day and have a cigarette, and he does not do this. Not this much. I'm going to move him. That'll fix you. So I'm usually in the shed. I was really glad. Yeah. It's hard, but hopefully she'll come around and be back on track one day. I didn't think she'd cope well with the younger one going to live with her dad. And maybe that's why we're getting crazy messages and stuff the last few weeks, because she isn't coping with that. She always thought in her mind that both girls would always be here. So I don't know. Maybe that's affected her negatively and she doesn't like that, but she doesn't want to be mum. And we can't force her to be. She wants to be here with me, but she doesn't want her girls to be here. That is the problem. We've always joked as a family that she never got over her siblings coming along. And to be one thing that has come into play is that is true. She really never got over it because she was nearly 5 when her brother was born. And although she loves her brother and sister with all her heart, she still wishes in her brain it was still, just her. But there's nothing we can really do nowadays. But they didn't keep him long enough, apparently, because it was like 3 months. But he never got arraigned. Then he was released and the charges didn't stick. Oh, my God. I was pissed. He learned nothing. Yeah. Well, I've even prayed for them to lock her up, Penny, to try and save her that way. But then you hear stories of, they can get the stuff easier in jail, so you just don't know. Mine isn't supposed to see her since we got a lawyer and asked him before the state ever got him. The judge granted our request for placing him in need of care. We have 0 state involvement. Yeah, ours is all through the department. It has been since day 1. And I'm sort of grateful for that because a lot of the things when it was no contact and that sort of thing, it come from them and it wasn't us. She didn't think it was just us saying what had to be done. It was coming from them, so it sort of made it a little bit easier. The judge deemed her unfit, which means she can't just get him back. We can't give him back. Guardianship is for life and it gives parents 0 rights or say in anything. Well, that's what the department are trying to get us to do now with, they wanted us to do it with both girls midway through last year. And I said, not until, because this is when Miss 9 was determined that she was going to live with Dad, I said she has to have a try at living with her father before we will commit to guardianship. Because what's the point if 6 months down the road she is living with her dad? So we'll see how this goes with George, and if it works out after 12 months or whatever and things are still going well, then we'll just go guardianship for Layla, and George is fine with her dad. Restrain the brains is a must, yeah. But the ice epidemic in Australia, it's sort of annoyed me really, because as our daughter went into it was when there was all the media attention and, you know, these task forces in play to help eliminate it in regional areas. And then everything just went like a cold case. You don't hear anything about it anymore. And that's frustrating as well. And the Facebook groups, like the department said to us, oh, you know, there's a lot of resources to help you with, you know, grandparenting, parents, and, you know, join some Facebook groups. Oh my God, it was the worst thing we ever did. Because some of them, grandparents raising grandkids, all they talk about is what they haven't got, what the department should be giving them for nothing, and bitching, like constantly. You never hear anything supportive on how to deal with things or anything. It's just all gimme, gimme, gimme. And it just wasn't for me. So we unjoined all of them. Waste of time. And it just made me sit there and think, are you guys really in it to look after your grandkids, or you're just after the paycheck? Like, honestly, because that's the way it just seemed to me. Oh, no. Suzanne. That's the bit where it's hard when you don't know where they are. We've had a few, most of the time we can track her electronically, you know, through social media or just word by mouth, you know, who to contact to know that she would be speaking to. But it's the quiet patches when no one's seen her on social media or heard from her. That gets really scary at times. Yeah, that's what I was saying, Sassy Noz. That's like hubby's always been like the typical tradie. Friday nights he'll go to the pub or go to the bowling club or whatever, but nowhere near an alcoholic. And we've never been party animals or drug, you know, nothing like that. So it's hard to get your head around when they haven't been brought up like that. I just beat myself up all the time, Sassy Noz, to be honest. It's crazy. It really is. And it's hard. Aww. That's like very, very similar with Layla and me. It's like it's exactly the same thing. It's like I give birth to her. Well, I was there when they were both born. Scroll back, Sharon, to see. Yeah, I don't talk about her very often because but yesterday just sort of, I do not know what's going on, but I can't scroll back up, Suzanne. My little arrow things aren't working. Cannot trace her anywhere. My granddaughter's mother last saw us when Jenna was 5. She's 24 years old now. My daughter, like yours, Sharon, also got into drugs at 15. Last I heard, she needed a liver transplant. Oh my God. Well, your story is very much like ours, Suzanne. So have you not heard from, you cannot trace her anywhere? I reckon I could track her down for you. There are ways, believe me. If you wanted me to. Oh, wow. I knew you had her from little, but I didn't realize from a newborn. Holy crap, Suzanne. No, I'm not a... Oh, look, if I wrote a book, it... Oh, it's crazy. I never knew that, Suzanne. 3 years ago, we lost my niece to cancer, but if it wasn't cancer, she was also addicted. Oh, fentanyl so bad. Wow. A lot of it comes from injury. A lot of addiction. Like Penny had the sense to be self-aware that she didn't even want to have the meds to begin with. But how many people's stories start with a car accident or fell off something and they were given meds and their life has gone to shit from that moment on because of pain medications, and it's led to more and more things. Oh, wow. You hear it over and over and over. Yeah, Sunny D, it does. I think everyone knows, at least if you don't have someone in the family, there's someone you know that's going through something with drugs related. Last I heard, she was with a guy that bashed the daylights out of her, but she kept going back to him. Wow, Suzanne. Yeah, Suzanne's in my neighbouring state. We're within like a 5 or 6 hour car ride, because I'm going to deliver her quilt to her in person. Yeah, I'm sort of glad, Sassy Noz, in one way, and then in another way, I'm not. It would be good not have to worry about them, but we've always had really good caseworkers. Most of them have been absolutely lovely and not a bother. And I don't think of them as a bother either, because if we were stranger foster parents to these girls, I would like to think that they were checking up on these kids all the time. So that's why I've never thought of them as a bother, because they should be constantly. We only see them once a month, and to me, that's not enough. If they were with strangers, And I know schools have a lot of input into how the kids are going, but yeah, I would rather them have more interaction, if anything. But anyway, the system even here in Australia with the foster parents thing, I don't know. There's always going to be dodgy ones. And he is not an adult baby forever. Wow. Sunny D. I'm trying to see what Suzanne said about boarding school. My daughter met a guy while in boarding school that got her involved. She left boarding school to be a street kid. Oh my God, Suzanne. Holy crap. Yeah, well, our daughter will tell you it was high school just wanting to fit in because she was a bit chubby and self-conscious of her body. She never liked herself, so she was happy to do anything to fit in and went down that road. And yeah, it was horrible. We do, Suzanne. That's the best advice. It makes you who you are today, doesn't it? Like, so she was 5, so it's 19 years since your granddaughter's seen her mum. That is so sad, isn't it? Does she want to meet her, Suzanne? Does she ever talk about her? That was like when I was telling you guys about my biological dad, how he always said he wanted to be cremated and thrown in Sydney. His ashes sprinkled in Sydney Harbour. And then one night he was drunk and fell overboard on a bloody ferry going to Manly. And when he got out of rehab, I was only like 9 or 10. And I was living with my nan. And he comes to the school. He'd never, ever go to my nan's. He met me in the school. There was a park right next to the school. And the first thing he said to me when I hadn't seen him for 6 months was, whatever you do, don't throw me ashes in Sydney Harbour. He said, that shit nearly killed me. Oh, my God. And he was a chronic alcoholic, really, really bad. But, yeah, I'll never, ever forget that. 15 months old, wow. Yeah, well, that's like us, Sassy Nos. The kids were here most days, all days. And she'd just come and sort of pick them up after they've had tea of a night, take them home to sleep, and they'd be back again the next morning. And that started from birth sort of thing. Peer pressure can be a dangerous thing. These drugs just complicate things so much more. Yeah, true, gymnastics. And this is why I've been so anxious about Layla starting high school, because it is scary as. Yeah. Never ever think it won't happen to your family or your child, because my daughter was the least person you would ever think this could happen to. The mum she was to her oldest was phenomenal. You know, if anything, Sassy knows, I think that's even sadder, because she'd already proven what a great parent she was. And then to like shift from that, that makes it even worse, in my opinion. That it is sadder. Anyway, guys, I better get off here and do a bit before I have to go and pick her up from school. I'm thinking. But thank you for hanging around, and I'll keep looking for updates on little Cody. I'll just do a little refresh now, see if anything's happening. But it's like the middle of the night over there now, isn't it? I don't think they'll say much until a bit later tonight, our time. Yeah, it's so good to see you too, Sammy Sparrow. Thank you so much for coming in. Oh, wow. It's amazing to be able to relate to you guys that are in the same situation. I really appreciate you guys feeling comfortable enough to share with me. And thank you for listening. I don't know if you guys notice, but I don't very often talk about her, but she's been on my mind big time with what Benny went through yesterday. So you guys know I'm me, and I'm authentic. But thanks, guys, for being here. And if there's any updates on little Cody, I'll be back later. If not, I will see you next time. Thanks so much. Bye.